like 9 times out of 10 is probably knowing where everyone's going to be.
And here's the thing too. Like I've always like I think Antonio Brown's a good player, a very good player. But I've never bought into this whole notion that Pittsburgh Steelers fans have, and you can research it on Twitter, do whatever you want, pull it up. It's all record. I've never bought into this whole notion where he's the greatest ever or anything close to it. Like a lot of these, I never even thought he was really the best in the game. I just thought he capitalized on, number one, a ton of targets, opportunities, and number two, Big Ben extending plays. And notice, Ben's older now. So he can't really run around and extend plays anymore.
So is Antonio Brown.
So
he's older too.
Well, I think any numbers that he came down were most likely because Juju took numbers away.
I agree. Yeah.
Much to Juju's, whatever you want to call it, complimenting him because he earned it too. So, but it's they're both are getting older.
Why can't you go out? I mean, look. You get rid, you trade Antonio Brown somehow. And I don't even want to get into the cap details, but why not you maybe bring in a Golden Tate? You pair Golden Tate, Juju. I like Eli Rogers. I like Eli Rogers as a third receiver. I thought he looked good.
I've seen all kinds of scenarios. You draft a guy, maybe you sign a free agent guy like Larry Fitzgerald or someone like that. You know what I mean?
There's some free agents out there, but
he's not going to be Antonio Brown. He's older too. But you might want a veteran presence out there because all you have is Juju and Washington, and they're both extremely young. So you bring in like a veteran star that probably could still play, probably would benefit from Ben being his quarterback.
Ben won Super Bowls before Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
He won Super Bowls with wide receiver core that featured
Holmes.
Hines Ward, Antonio Holmes.
Exactly. He's arguably the greatest touchdown pass in Super Bowl.
Randall L.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won with quarterbacks, college quarterbacks.
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah. So, this notion that Ben can't win without Antonio Brown is wrong. So
I think a lot of it also stems from just how much of a strong fan base Brown has here, and no one wants to let like it's like I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him play anywhere else but here because how much fun he's been to watch. And how much he was like almost like a Juju early in his career, like his first year or two. He's all smiles. He's out there playing, not really being too crappy with people. Sorry about that. But then
he's not all smiles now.
No, it's gotten worse and worse every year of his career.
Why
the ego's gotten bigger.
They would take a bullet for Antonio Brown.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why I think you get people saying they can't win. People just don't want to believe that their favorite players acting like this, especially after losing Bell in much of a sort of a similar fashion. Not really, but
here's something I don't get, and I don't know. Maybe I'm looking through this through Ben colored glasses or something like that. But there's a lot of criticism today on Ben also being part of the drama and the turmoil, and he's divisive and he throws people under the bus. I don't know what the heck people are talking about. It happened one time this year where he said Antonio Brown ran the wrong routes and James Washington didn't do something like that, and people are treating that like that's all he does is he never blames himself. He always blames someone else. He's divisive. Like, what are you talking about? It happened one time, and I guarantee you the reason why he did that was to get through to Antonio Brown. I'll bet he said to AB a million times privately and in meetings and during whatever, hey, you're running the wrong route, could you do something, or could you stop being horrible or something like that. And either Brown stopped, just refused to listen, or just told him to screw off. So he's like, okay, fine, let's try something else. I'm going to call you out publicly. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to absolve Ben of being, guilt-free in any drama. Because
True.
Believe me, he's a little dramatic every year. I mean,
he's a little dramatic at times. Yeah.
Maybe, but I do agree with you, Joe, that people are getting too overboard on this notion of he always calls people out publicly.
Yeah, he's rarely done that.
Many times he puts the blame on himself.
Yeah, he always says, I need to play better. I need to play better. I need to play better. Now on his show, I've said this to Joey a few times, like he has what I call honesty Tourette's, where like he might give too much information that the team or other players may give like a politician answer, and he gives too much information. If they ask about a specific play, maybe he'll say what he thought, like with that interception in the end zone that, he thought someone got blocked back. He didn't think they'd be there. AB should have ran a different route. That kind of thing. He'll talk about that.
No, it's good radio. No, you're right. Like it's good radio. It's like the Tom.
Yeah,
radio.
They love that. They love him having the show because he doesn't dance around any answers at all. And what was the other one? I saw, what was it? Shannon Sharp called him out for being like one of the worst quarterback leaders of all time and stuff. And he actually said this, and this isn't how I took it. Maybe I heard it the wrong way about him saying the Le'Veon Bell drama and backlash was like a distraction.
That's another
and that's
thing.
Why they missed the playoffs. And I didn't hear that at all. I'm like, missing the playoffs. Someone asked them about that specific incident.
Ben isn't the greatest leader of men right now. I mean, I wouldn't.
He's not. I mean, God, he's like made him sound like he's the worst quarterback
leader
of all. And
Ben's no angel, but to put him on the level of Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, I think is ridiculous.
I mean, that's a little.
Even Bryant, who was a mess too, Martavis. But that day, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like just saying that he was using Bell as an excuse they didn't make the playoffs. I don't remember him saying it at all. He was just asked about the Bell incident, and he just told them, "Yeah, I think it might have been a distraction," but he never said like that's why we missed the playoffs.
Exactly.
That's what got me. I'm like, they just like took that, went from A to Z with nothing in between. The media does it all the time, though. They just love to get the reactions.
Yeah. So let's talk about. I can't believe we're saying this, but what do you think the odds are that he's actually going to be a Steeler in September? Right now, I'd say not even 50-50. I'd say it's maybe 40%.
I still think it's greater than half, only because of the ramifications and everything. But
okay, well, let's talk about the ramifications. Yeah. So apparently,
I'm hearing another multiple. Joe, this is another multiple story. There's been so many multiple.
There's been several reports this way.
I don't know where where Ed Bouchette is getting $6 million from. That the cap hit would be that, or oh my God, you got to be kidding me.
Oh no.
Okay, so there is a show. Called The Masked
Breaking
Singer.
Update on the podcast.
There is a show called The Masked Singer. Okay, it's where a celebrity in a mask sings, and then they have to guess. Guess who the masked singer
is. It Antonio Brown?
It's Antonio Brown.
No, it's not.
I swear to God. I swear to God, listen, I'm looking at Antonio Brown right now.
What channel is that on?
Listen, this says everything. This tells you all you need to know right here.
It's on Fox. All right. I got to turn this on.
It's he's singing right now.
Listen,
oh my goodness.
I hope that they get rid of him.
He is. There he is. Holy crap. Is that live? Maybe that's why he didn't show up.
Is James Harrison singing a duet with him?
James Harrison is his hype man. He's a Flavor Flav in this situation.
That's I believe he's actually the muscle outside his dressing room.
Oh.
Can you imagine if it was Juju?
So
that is funny.
Yeah, let's talk about James Harrison. So as Tomlin is giving this press conference, and first of all, I predicted for the press conference that Tomlin would say nothing nothing, and he tried to say nothing, but if you read between the lines, he said a lot. He is done with Antonio Brown. That's my interpretation of what he said during the press conference. But as he's giving this, thank you. As he's doing the press conference, Antonio Brown is putting out social media posts, and he's listening to the press conference with James Harrison, who they promised some kind of interview or something like that. Yeah, they probably forgot to hit the button or something like that.
Yeah.
But two upstanding men. You know, a guy that knocked out his girlfriend during happy hour at Patron. You know, these guys they're great guys. I mean, I see why people are defending them and why people will literally take a bullet for Antonio Brown. You know, that shows that Antonio Brown has not been the problem when he's on Facebook Live doing this stuff and mocking Tomlin.
Hey, James Harrison never just went AWOL from work. Oh wait, yeah, he did.
Oh yeah,
you know, a guy that's mad at Tomlin because Tomlin thought he couldn't play anymore. Like, I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So it's just, I mean, to me, that's like insanely disrespectful.
It's about as disrespectful as Facebook Live in a post-game speech.
There you go.
Oh my! I remember watching that too. Sort of amusing because he was just passing his phone around from person to person. Then all of a sudden, Tomlin's speaking, and the right thing that popped in my head is, "Oh, you should probably turn this off right now."
Yeah.
And he kept it going, and I'm like, "Oh crap! We're listening to Tomlin live. He's not going to like that."
Okay. So let's say what? Okay. So. Apparently, if they trade him before June 1st, it's a huge cap hit. It's like $21 million or something like that. If they trade him after June 1st, it's like a $9 million cap hit or something like $6 million. I don't know.
So, but here's the thing, though. Does that increase his return to a team that is really desperate for him? Like, say there's a team that is like, man, like, we're maybe a playmaker away from doing something this year. You know, who they think that Antonio Brown is going to come in and poison their locker room, and they want to get him before June 1st. Maybe that increases the return as opposed to, you know, after June 1st, where they're like, well, it's only a $6 million cap hit. They're more or less doubling essentially now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
some teams may want to do something before the draft so they know what they can.
That's a thing.
The draft is.
That's the thing is, you know, you could trade him after June 1st, but the draft is over.
Exactly.
So basically, you have to. I mean, they're gonna have to spend another draft pick probably on a wide receiver unless they go the free agent route. And really, I mean, in theory, they're gonna have a lot of money in cap space. In theory.
They're gonna have a decent amount.
You know, you have the Le'Veon Bell money. You have. Do you think they'll keep Bud Dupree? I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen at this point?
Who knows about that? Might be determined whether, you know.
Now,
they do something with AB.
Signing trades. Do you guys know? You know, kind of like the NBA. You know, or is there any? I'm not.
I don't think so. I don't think it's like the NBA.
Where I'm saying like say you have the Saints, where Mark Ingram's coming up. He's going to be a free agent. I know we have Connor, but he has a little bit of injury history. Where you say, look, you sign Mark Ingram to this contract, we'll, you know, include him in the deal for Antonio. See, I wasn't sure if that was at all possible.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but I don't know how often they even try that in the NFL or anything.
I mean, maybe that would be one way to. Well, in general, maybe that would be. I mean, that would soften the blow on the cap hit, is if you're getting a player or two with a bigger cap number back, like people were saying You know, do you trade Antonio Brown to the Niners for Jerick McKinnon? You know,
Yeah, I saw stuff. Yeah,
in a first round draft pick, and a, you know,
I saw option. Yeah, trade him to get Patrick Peterson or get